Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is Tuesday, May the 27th. We have a few more days to get in our last minute um, efforts in for the end of this month. So good luck to you all with that. My name is Miriam Kareem, and welcome to our Tuesday Leadership Call. We have an exciting, action-packed, information-packed call tonight. I'm sure Coach Will Zanders always brings the fire, but first, and I'm fire, no pun intended there, but first, a quick trip to the Newbie Corner. I saw a quote today, and I want to share it with you all. It says, "Stop telling yourself you're not qualified, good enough, or worthy. Growth happens when you start doing the things you're not qualified to do." So I remember something that Coach Tina always says to some of the ladies that she has taken under her wing and mentored, and it's always do it messy. If it's don't just get out there and do it. Do it messy. Even if you don't know everything, make the effort and try. You'll get better. And as it says here, growth is going to happen. You just have to keep going, keep trying, keep making an effort, and you'll get better as you go along. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to our teacher tonight, Coach Will Zanders. He is a multiple seven-figure earner, documented in the network marketing world, a seven-figure earner at Green Organics Companies at HBN, and our first six-figure earner at Goldasana, an amazing, amazing teacher, always has a great insight to help you really get the understanding of what it takes to make it in this business. So, Coach Will Zanders, are you available, sir?
I am available, Miriam. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And we'll dive right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Miriam. I want to thank you for being the hostess with the mostest. I appreciate that. I also want to thank Coach Marcus Jones for putting these calls together and getting the Zoom straight so I can just come in and just deliver the content that I hope has been impactful for you. So what we've been doing the last couple of weeks is making sure that everybody here who aspires to be in a leadership position has the information they need from a basic standpoint of how the compensation plans work with the company. We spent about a class and a half on GoDasana. We spent another class and a half on HBN. And if you've been tuned into that and plugged in, you should have a better knowledge of how our pay plans and work in conjunction with getting products into the marketplace. And that's very important because we do not get any income, not one bonus, not $1, unless a product changes hands. Put a one in the chat if that makes sense, that there's no cost to join our business. It is simply when products move, we get compensated, okay? When products move in our organization, even if we didn't do it, we get compensated even more. So just understand that's how it works. And the stuff that we cover tonight is specifically designed to help you keep the main thing, and that is how it works. So we're going to start off with the first part, and I'm going to tell you right now, the things I'm about to name, they're really cool, but they are absolutely not necessary for you to win. I'm going to say that again. The stuff we're about to talk about right now, I'm going to give you a little short list. It's really stuff that's cool. A lot of people know it because this organization, this company, is one of the most best educated, best trained companies I have ever been a part of in network marketing by far. It's not even close. Okay. Some of you will have conversations with people from other companies, and you'll be shocked at the lack of skill, the lack of understanding about the industry, the lack of industry history. So I want to congratulate you for being in the top tier of being the most educated and the most professional. Okay, even our new reps that have made maybe a couple $100 and maybe been to a boot camp or so, they have been trained better than anybody else in network marketing, even people that are charging thousands of dollars. Okay, that's not just a testament to our coaches, okay, and Coach Tina and Seymour and Charlotte and everybody, Coach Marcus, obviously, Coach Sonic and everybody else. That is really about y'all having a high teachability index and getting that information, internalized, okay, internalized. Now, Oh, let me see. We got some let's see. We got some comments. We need to hop on. What we got going on? I see some congratulations. Congratulations, Quintina Stone hitting diamond. Congratulations. In their company where the team has to pay money for training. Yep. Sure do. Okay, so here's stuff that's cool, but hear me out. You don't need any of this stuff to win. And when I say win, we talked about it on the last call. If you need to make a $5,000 really quickly, like soon, I recommend you get a part-time job. If you need to make $5,000 really soon and you want to focus specifically on network marketing and you don't want to get a part-time job, then I recommend that you place your early desire for results in that $5,000. I recommend that you put your desire for results underneath the desire of results for other people. Prioritize other people. If you need $5,000, one of the best ways to do that is to find 5 people who want to make $1,000 and you help them do that. Okay, that is you'll make the 5,000. That's the way this compensation plan works. And I'm not going to go into depth on that tonight because we've covered it down to the volume amount on multiple calls, and the recordings are all available at One Team, One Dream YouTube channel. Thank you, Coach Marcus, for curating that for people. So let's eliminate some noise. You don't need 1,000 followers to win big in network marketing. You don't need 10,000 followers. You don't need to be an influencer. You don't need 100 to 200 customer orders a month. You don't need to be a master of ClickFunnels and TikTok Shop and Shopify and Facebook ads and website design. All of that helps, sure. You don't need any of it, okay? You don't need a scientific understanding of how angstrom formulated HB and silver outperforms Amazon's top-selling colloidal silver. You don't need a knowledge of how Walmart detergent slows down fat loss because there are hormone disruptors in the detergent. You don't need to know that. You don't need to know the math behind HB and binary payouts and the volumes doubling. You don't need to know any of that stuff, okay? Is it cool? Sure. Will it help you? Of course. Do you know it? Probably. But do you need to? Absolutely not. It's cool to learn those things, but you don't need them to get started and you don't need them to make $100,000. I don't know how else to put it. All right. The things that have worked in network marketing the last 100 years are the things that still work today. Are there new things that work? Yes, of course. Social media and all the and online stuff, all of that stuff works too. But the things that worked 100 years ago are the things that work today. You don't need to be a genius to make $100,000. I'll tell you what you need in a second, but right now, just put in the chat, I don't need anything other than what I know. If what I said makes sense, okay, and I'll prove it to you 10 times before this call is over, please type in the chat, I don't need anything other than what I have now. Just type that in the chat for me if that makes sense, okay? I don't need anything other than what I have literally right now. That's all you need. That's all you need, okay? And I'm gonna prove it to you, all right? Now, let me tell you what you do need. Let me tell you what you do need. All right, because of the way the pay plans are set up, if this was Amway back in the 80s, you would need 6 strong frontline leaders. Okay, if this was a company I used to be with back in the day called United that closed, if you were at that company and we went to the top of that company, you would need 12 strong frontline leaders. All right, what do you absolutely need? This is not a want. Need at HBN or Go to Sana in order to go to the top of the pay plan. What do you need? Okay. Yeah. And I gotta hammer that point home over and over again because everything else is bonus. Everything else is good. You can have 100 frontline people and 3,000 customers and go diamond. All of that's great. But I gotta tell you, I gotta remind you from time to time, if not for you, because you're special. So all right, yeah, you 2 is too small a number for you. But you're gonna run into some people that do not have the ability to make teams of thousands of people just from how they are charismatic, or they can get 80 people in a room, or they can in person, or they can sponsor thousands of people online. You don't need any of that. They don't need that. They might want it, but they don't need it. Let me tell you what your 2 people need to have. I'll tell you right now. Your 2 people, the 2 builders that you want to work with, they need to have number 1, a dream. All right? The dream reflects a strong desire. All right? They need to have a dream. All right? Yes, Richard, a vision. Yes, that is true. A vision for a better life. And we summarize that by saying they need to have a dream. Okay. The second thing that they have to have an above average work ethic. What does that mean? They got to have a little fight in them. They got to have a dream that they're willing to fight for. That is the top two things that they need. I'm going to give you some more stuff that they need. But if you're making a checklist of people that, you know what, I got my customer game on lock, I'm sponsoring customers, I'm helping people, I'm changing their lives, but I'm getting a little tiny bit tired of having to go find a new 10, 20 customers every month. I want to make a little bit of residual income. I really want to see my team grow because I'm tired of doing everything. Okay. Got it. This call is for you. Okay. So they got to have a dream. They got to have some fight. All right. And that fight is a slightly above average work ethic. Okay. So the first two, they have to have a dream that they're willing to fight for. The third thing they have to have is some grit. Okay. Sidney Brown calls it tenacity. They got to have some grit. The grit, that tenacity, okay, I'm gonna tell you, that is it's a no quit mindset because we know that permanent income requires permanent commitment. There is no such thing as permanent residual income with temporary commitment. If you don't have permanent commitment, you're never going to have permanent income. A lot of you just don't have the belief level yet in the products to pay plan the company. You're still open to other opportunities. You're like, all right, this one's cool, but if something better comes along, all of that energy that is falling off over into your organization. Okay, they got to have a dream that they're willing to fight for, and they got to have that tenacity. That permanent income requires permanent commitment. Okay. Number four, they got to have this basic, okay, elementary level reading and writing skills. They don't have to have a high school degree. They don't have to have a college diploma. They don't have to have, a master's degree. They don't have to have 20 certifications in online marketing. They don't have to have a track record of success in network marketing. They just need, thank you, Richard, they just need to be literate. Basic reading and writing skills so that they can navigate through the website without a lot of difficulty. Okay. And if you recommend a book, it'd be nice if they could read it. Or if you recommended an audio book, it would be nice if they understood reading comprehension and knew what the words mean. That would be helpful for you. Okay. Now, the fifth thing they need, and this is very important, is a teachability index of 80% or higher. Now, what is a teachability index of 80% or higher? What does that mean? It means that when you look at their desire to learn, okay, you're going to rank that from 0 to 10, and then you're going to take their willingness to change, and you're going to rank that from 0 to 10. So you're going to look at their desire to learn, 0 to 10, and their willingness to change, okay, 0 to 10. Because if they didn't have to change and they just can keep being exactly who they are with the same skills, same desire, same spending habits, same eating habits, same habits where they don't get on Zooms, they watch TV for 3 hours. If they can just do the same stuff, they'd already be successful, but they're not. That's why they're talking to you. So they need a teachability index where those two numbers, if you multiply them, they need to equal 80 or higher. They're going to need that. They're going to need it. And last but not least, this one is not even necessary, but boy, is it helpful, a pleasant cooperative disposition. You are not going to spend the time it takes. I don't care how talented somebody is. Talent was not on that list. I don't care what big team I have they from another company. That's not on that list. I don't care if they've been a diamond at every company and made $3 million in network marketing. You just got to sponsor them. If only they could see the vision and let you sponsor them. That's not on that list. They need to have a pleasant, cooperative disposition. They need to be kind of fun to work with. A pleasing personality is what Napoleon Hill would call it. I'm going to tell you, I enjoy working with Coach Marcus Jones. I enjoy it. I enjoy working with Coach Kim. I've met both of them in person. I enjoy working with them. Okay, I love working and learning with Tina, and Tina came to a boot camp, met Tina. She spoke at one in Denver and had the whole room crying. She has a pleasant disposition. She's fun. and enjoyable to work with. Coach Charlotte Whitaker, she'll challenge you, but she's fun and really incredible to work with. She has a cooperative disposition. Okay, everybody's on the same page. And when you find yourself butting heads with people over and over and over again, it's nothing wrong with you. It's nothing wrong with them. They just might not be the person that's going to get your business to the next level. But does it work? Sure. You can definitely find people with those top 5 traits. Okay. I would make a checklist and I would go through that checklist if I were you when I'm sponsoring a new team member. And that number 6 is just a pleasant bonus. Okay. It's a pleasant bonus. Now, the next part we're going to talk about very quickly is to make sure you understand leadership math. And this section is in addition to any income you're making from your customer sales and anything beyond your 2 solid business builders. Okay, they don't have to be geniuses. They just need to be able to read and write and have a dream that they're willing to work for, and so on and so forth. Leadership math is determined at every company has something called leadership math, every network marketing company. The leadership math is determined by the pay plan of the company. So, excuse me, it can differ from company to company. All right, I need to be clear about that. So, leadership math at HBN and GoDasana, because Paula had a couple of tweaks here and there, within the last year, the leadership math at HBN and GoDasana has become identical. It didn't used to be identical. But late last year, when Paula added a volume component to the HBN pay plan, you can now go to Diamond with HBN with 2 people, as long as you build it out with the volume the way we teach it. And with GoDasana, you can go to the top of the pay plan as far as income earning with 2 people. All right, the ranks, and congratulations to all our new diamonds. We love this. It's been raining diamonds for the last 12 months. A lot of our coaches, and Ed Spears in particular, Ed Spears has been working with people, helping people get to diamond. And that's amazing, things of that nature. So it's been raining diamonds out here. But you don't have to be a diamond to make $100,000 or $50,000 or $1 million at GoDasana. And you don't have to be a diamond to make that at HBN either. However, the building, the code is now the same at both companies, okay? The difference between the 2 is at HBN, there is a balance requirement. That is irrelevant if you build it 2 by 2 like we teach, you're going to have the right balance. However, HBN compensates for that by allowing you infinite depth, okay? With GoDasana, you don't have to have balance in your organization to make a ton of money. You can make a lot of money with one runaway group. The way that Green Organics handles that, so the company doesn't go bankrupt, is that they will cap you at 12 to 15 levels in your personal matrix, okay? But you are not capped in infinite levels because of check match, all right? So both of these pay plans are wildly aggressive. They are wildly aggressive, and they pay more money than any other pay plan in the industry. Where does this money come from? Well, the money comes from the fact that HBN and GoDasana, Green Organics, have a policy where Paula does not spend a ton of company money on shiny objects, overpaid speakers, and things like that. They don't even do corporate events, okay? After COVID, they were like, you know what? We're just gonna put even more money in the pay plan because they were doing corporate events. It was amazing. It was in Miramar Beach, Florida. It was a great time. A lot of y'all weren't here yet, but it was a blast. It was an incredible weekend, but that cost a lot of money. Even though we had tickets, it cost a lot of money to put that on. And so we had food and drinks and DJs and it was amazing. It was amazing for those of you who were here back then. But when COVID happened, the company couldn't do that, all right? So what ended up happening is they took all that money. She wasn't gonna just keep it. Paula's not a greedy CEO. There's no board of directors to satisfy with stockholders and they want the stock price up. We don't have any of that to worry about here. They took all of that money and put it into the pay plan and kept the star bonus going. And that extra money went on to different pieces of the pay plan. They added multiple levels of the star bonus. And then they had extra money. They made a GoDasana star bonus when it was time. So all of that money went into the pay plan. And if we want a company that has amazing 24/7 customer service, which we certainly do not, and we want a company with really, really flashy events and hypey type things, which we don't, we can have all of that but our pay plan would not be aggressive like it is now, and we don't want that. Okay, if we want to party, we'll spend the money and make it happen. We don't need to do that. So working 2x2 can take you to the top of either or both of the pay plans. Now, I'm going to say this just for the people who are watching on replay, but those of you who have been tuning in, you already know this, and I'm only going to say this one time. You get two people at 100 CV with either company. If those two get two, it's four. If not if, because I like when those work for me, it'll work for you. When those four get two, that is 8 people on that level of your organization. When those 8 get two, it's 16. When those 16 people get their 2 people, it's 32 people, and so on and so forth. When those 32 people do the same thing you did, which is get 2, it's going to be 64. The 64 will lead to 128. When those 128 members get 2 members, it's going to equal 256. And we'll stop right here. When the 256 new members get 2 new members, it is 512. We could keep going with either company, but we won't. If you add those numbers up, that's a little over 1,000 people in your organization. Okay, exactly 1,023 people in your group. Okay, plus you 1,024. All right. Now that is how you build a team of 1,000 plus people without being a rock star. If you're a rock star, which I certainly am not, which is why I still do it this way and teach it this way, you can build a team of 1,000 differently. But you can build a team of 1,000 people without being a rock star. Okay, you look at the checklist of characteristics there. You don't need Michael Jordan. You need somebody with those little characteristics, the dream that they're willing to fight for. $100, they can read and write. We're off to the races. All right, but you got to teach them. Now, when you get a team of 1,000 people at 100 CV with either company, that's going to get you over $75,000, $76,000 a year from the matrix alone. When you add fast starts, when you add unilevel, when you add overrides, when you add check match, when you add the SAT grid or the star grid, that is going to get you to $100,000 a year. So the quickest way to make $100,000 a year, the quickest way that most people can do is going to be to sponsor 2 people and help them duplicate the same thing. Most people are going to sponsor somewhere between 4, 6, 8, maybe 10. Half of those are going to quit. Some are going to become customers. But you should be able to identify the 2 people who satisfy the checklist on that criteria and say, all this other stuff I got going on is great. I love it. I'm serving my customers and providing valuable customer service, but I need 2 people. 1, 2, I'm gonna work with you and we're gonna get it right, okay? But that's $100,000 a year income with either company. How do I know? Because I did it. I did it with both companies, and I wanted to show you that now that we've done it repeatedly at this point, that this is really how it could work for you. This is tested. This is not up for debate. This is proven. This happens with both companies. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is how it works. And that was only 8 levels deep. GoDasana can go to 12 levels deep with no rank, in 15 levels deep if you really want to cut up, but you don't even need that for 100. That was just 8 levels. And HBN can go to the moon with levels to create even more income. Now, here's the thing about it. Pay attention to this next part. That 2x2 system is 80% of what I teach forever. Day 3, it's what I teach. It is what I have always taught. It is all I do. It's about 80% of what I teach. 20% is going to be mindset and leadership and nuances and stuff, and the mental game. But 80% is that. All right, is 2x2 because I know it works. Every Zoom that I do, every book I recommend, every script I teach, every event to build your belief and confidence, all the training is all there just to help you recruit the right 2 solid people. It's all pointing to that. Okay, and then you have to teach those 2. You repeat that, 8 levels, 100 grand a year. Enjoy. Okay, so 80 to 90% of what you think is training and coaching, at least from me, I can't speak for everybody else. For me, is really just helping you to do that better. I know for sure the Franchise Factor training that Coach Marcus does every Saturday night, I know for sure it is designed to help you teach your 2 people so they know how to teach their 2 people so you don't have to work forever. I know that. I know that the Detox Divas calls that Coach Tina and Coach Kim do, because they're amazing, They're designed to build your understanding and belief, typically in the products, but there's some great business stuff there too. But they're going to build your belief and understanding in the products to make you more confident. Because when you have belief and you have confidence, you take more action. And you're going to go get customers and products into the marketplace. And one of those customers is going to say, you know what? I think I want to make some money too. Boom, there it is. So everything that I see going on is designed to make sure that you can sponsor your two people. You may sponsor 10 or 20, and that's great. I'm not even telling you how to sponsor that many or coach that many. I don't care. What I care is about you and anyone you want to work with you doing the simplest possible way to make $100,000 and impact the lives of 1,000 people on an annual basis. Okay, the pay plans are equal. If you do build a team of 1,000 with HBN, that's about 100,000 a year. If you build a team of 1,000 with GoDasana, that's about 100,000 a year. Period. The differences and the nuances are negligible if you follow the plan. If you're coachable, you won't have these problems. Now let's talk about some growth pillars. Okay, this is communication stuff. I've shared this on a private training I did with some amazing people with our team who qualified for it with the little promotion we ran last week. But I'm gonna share a little bit of that with you because you need it. And they gave me the green light. They said it's okay, coach. Y'all need a little bit of this at least, okay? So the first growth pillar, and these go up in level, is consistency. All right, consistency gets you in the door. It's not going to make you wealthy, but consistency in network marketing will get you in the door. Without consistency, you have nothing. There's nothing to build. Any team you think you have will be gone. They'll be gone. If you're sporadic and you build a little team of 15 and 20, and then you have a bad day at work or a bad day with your significant other, and you call it. You just wrap it up for a little bit. Guess what? You inconsistent or sporadic. When you turn back around, when you're go ready to make some money, your team gone. Out of here. We're gonna holler at you, Chief. That's how it works. So without consistency, you have nothing. Being consistent, plugging in, making it to events when you can, or Zooms and the free trainings we do all week long, being on your auto ship, all of that is part of consistency. That's not in and of itself going to make you wealthy, but that is the first growth level, is consistency. That's your foundation. The second growth level is conversions, okay, which is sales. Basically, it's sales. Sales are going to make you money. Hot Market's going to make you money. Making the right type of post and engaging properly with some product orders and black seed oil and the GLP-1 system, that'll get you some orders. Conversions is going to make you money. Conversions is going to separate the hobbyists from the pros, okay? It's going to separate the hobbyists from the pros, all right? Now, we got a lot of diamonds. You got some diamonds that grinded it out, and they really going to get out there and get those orders and get in the trenches. And other diamonds have systems that work really well for them in the organization, and they have a much easier time, all right? So they look the same now, all right? But a year from now, they're going to look way different because the conversions, all right, are going to be something that eventually at some point you got to take responsibility for. That's what makes the money. The cash register got to ring, all right? And if you're good at making the cash register ring, you're off to a great head start, and skills will help you do that. But here's the thing. Well, you're talking about so many orders, and listen, to get the right two people, you only got to make the cash register ring 2 times. That is not difficult. In fact, the average network marketer in our industry sponsors 2.7 reps over the course of their career, which is less than a year long. And in the course of that year, they make less than $100. I think it's $96 the average network marketer makes their first year. They sponsor 2.7 reps, and they also quit at the end of that first year. They're gone by the end of that first year. That's network marketers. That's not us here, because we know that permanent income requires permanent commitment. So the conversions are going to separate the hobbyists from the pros. And that's what the diamonds are really good at. They're good at getting conversions. They're going to get 100 of them within any calendar month. But you don't have to do that in order to become successful. It takes 2, all right? The third level, the third growth level, is going to be communication. Now, communicators, the top tier communicators, they are going to make a lot of money. They are going to be your good presenters. They are going to be your good inviters. That's what Coach Sonic is. That's what Coach Tina is. They are amazing presenters. They take information. They pack calls out. Coach Marcus, like there are so many people on our team that are incredible presenters and inviters. Ed Spears, incredible inviter. Charlotte Whitaker, she gonna make it happen. Kenya, same, just incredible, incredible, incredible inviters. Okay, and you can tell a lot of times by their income. You don't have to just pull names out of hat and don't say stuff so people don't feel bad about you not calling their name. No, the people who are at 25,000, like Lillian Corville and Butch, they're great invite 25, 50,000, 100,000. These are going to be people that are great presenters and great inviters. Okay, when a person does a presentation or when they're really good at inviting and then they do a presentation, the prospect is going to say, I understand them. I understand exactly what they said about that product or that pay plan. When they hear Coach Marcus, they say, I understand exactly what he said. I want to join the business. I didn't understand it when my sponsor said it. I understood it when Coach said it. I'm going to join with my sponsor because I understand them. Okay. I'm going to join with you. You're my sponsor, but I understand them. Plug me into that. Okay. So when you're a really good communicator, the third growth level, that's typically where the presenters and inviters really shine. Okay, they really shine there. And the skills come. Nobody is born a great presenter. You are born a baby. No one is born a great inviter. Okay, you're born a baby. Nobody's born a leader. You are born a baby. Everything we talk about is a skill that can be learned, but here's the crazy part again. You don't even need to be a great presenter to sponsor two people. There it is. Well, I'm not a great presenter. Good, good, good. You don't have to be. Focus on the right two, and you're going to be fine. And you don't even have to sponsor good presenters. You can sponsor people who actually are, again, I gave you the checklist. All right. Next growth level. This is the most important one. We had consistency, conversions, communication. With communication, they say, I understand them. That's what the prospects say. Wow, I understand them. They're really good. That's now, and that'll get you into the six-figure and multiple six-figure level. To get to the $1 million level, sure, it takes time, but more important than that, it's going to take not the last, but the only growth level we're going to talk about past that one, it is going to be connection. The top earners are going to be the connectors. They are going to be able to establish connection with people. This is where Coach Tina and others really shine. Very authentic, very transparent, very vulnerable. They're amazing connectors. They got all the other growth levels too. I wasn't capping any of our coaches at these levels, but they go that way. Okay? Connection. When a person's a great communicator, the prospect is going to say, I understand them. When you are a great connector, the prospect will say, they understand me. They understand me. Okay? I don't know what it was about that meeting or that video or that presentation, but I tell you what, I don't even know all what that Ed Spears said. I don't really know everything he was talking about. He was real mad aggressive. You know what I know? Something about it, he just understands me. Something about it, he know where I come from. I feel like I relate to him. It's weird, but you don't have to be an incredible conversion person or incredible communicator to really have that real authentic connection. And the funny part is, if you connect with people and you do that enough, you're going to become very polished. Okay, you can watch Coach Sonic when he does a presentation. You can tell him how polished the presentation. He's done it 1 billion times. When Coach Marcus does a Zoom up presentation, he can do it in his sleep. He's done it 1 million times. When Coach Tina hosts a Zoom and talks about a product, she's done it 1 million times. Okay. When Eileen or Sydney are in front of a room, if you've ever seen either of those ladies train, they've been in front of a room 1 million times. When you see Coach Seymour working and building his business, and you see him out and about, literally the lifestyle this is not his first time working with people and speaking to people publicly and connecting with people, talking about his story, what happened to him. He knows everything about the products. He knows everything. But he is at his most effective when he is telling you his authentic story about his parents, okay? About him having to leave his children, his sons at home because he had to go to work and there was nobody to take care of his kids and they were dang near babies. That is when his connect, Charlotte Whitaker, top tier, S tier connector, S top level. You look at the people that are making the highest income, you really forget that they really do know way more information than they're giving you. Okay? They just intuitively, by on purpose or accident, they just know that the connection is more important than information. Okay? I'm telling you, the connection is where the real money lives. And you don't have to be a great they are great communicators. You don't have to be a great communicator to be a great connector. Let me prove that to you. Okay? We're getting close to the end of the call. We made some good time tonight. But let's say this. You've been connecting since birth. The first word babies are taught is mama or papa or daddy. But the first word that they learn on their own with no help from you is mine. Mine, me. That's that. They take the toy. Mine. Who taught you that? They learn that themselves. The other stuff they learn, mama, dad, that you teach them, right? They learn me. They learn the concept of you, me. This is mine. That is yours. Babies learn that uncoached. Okay. You've been a great connector since you were a baby. It's instinctive. The combination of you, I'm here, me, you. Okay. That connection is something that babies even understand, and you understand. It's authentic, it's instinctive, it's normal, it is natural. That's how you learn the concept of my personal space. Someone's a little too close, you don't even know, you just don't like it because intuitively you did not give them permission to come into your personal space. You did not give them permission to connect with you, even though they're just standing too close, too close. Babies are even like that. Just understand, babies pick up stuff and put everything in their mouth in an attempt to connect with their environment. They're not scared of falling down. This might be poisonous. They're going to try to eat it anyway. They're not scared about rejection. They are natural born connectors. And this is why when you walk into a room with a baby, the baby takes all the attention and aura farms everybody else in the room. The baby don't have to say nothing. Everybody immediately rushes in and immediately caters to the baby. A lot of you have just forgotten that that's still who you are. You are the natural born connector that goes into a room with no words and everybody gravitates towards you immediately. What does the baby need? What do you need? People want to help you. But the world, the school system, bullies, our parents, even though they didn't mean to do it, jobs, work, TV, the media, they've really just made you forget that you are a natural connector, and they never told you that connection is the most important skill to make significant money in network marketing, especially if you realize you just need to connect with two people and then help them connect with two people. Okay? Yes, Francine says school was the worst. School was the worst for everybody, right? It's school, right? That's how it is. So connection is instinctive. You don't really need to teach people. You can just remind them, you know? You have what it takes. You don't need to learn anything else other than what you already know. We'll teach you because people enjoy acquiring information. You don't need that. Okay? People already know how to connect. We just want to help them do it authentically. We call that facilitating authentic connection. All right? But Will, how come everybody's not doing that? Heck if I know. That's what I do. Okay? But the issue, one of the issues is people do, we admit this, they spend a little too much time facilitating synthetic connection. I'm totally okay with that. Social media is what it is. But they spend a little too, people who aren't making the income they want to make, they're spending a little too much time facilitating synthetic connection. And after 2, 3, or 4 years of doing that, and you've been with our company 2, 3, 4 years, and you still ain't at least 25, 50, 100,000, you should be frustrated and you should be burnt out. But you're probably still here because you've made just enough money to stick around. All right. So the people who make 50,000 in 6 months, and the people who make 3, 4, 500,000 in 3, 4, 5 years, stuff like that, even the people who make 100,000 in 18 months, those people are on social media, but their connections take place there, sure, but their connections take place in real life. that connections take place in real life. And I just never want you to forget that it's okay to do both. All right. But you are going to have to connect with people in real life at some point. You can hide behind a keyboard all you want. But if you do that, you are going to be one of those network marketers that when Facebook crashed last year and it just went offline and couldn't nobody log in, people were losing their minds. They were going crazy. Oh my God, what I'm gonna do? My business. Some of us, we had a nice day at the beach because we didn't care. I mean, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Who cares? I talk to real people in real life, and they don't have to be rock stars. That's how you build the proper foundation of your business. I'm just telling you, the social media is awesome. I'm never gonna knock it. I love it. I think it's amazing. But it is going to be way more difficult and way slower than if you sponsor 2 people and help them sponsor 2 people. Thank you, Clint. Pick up the phone, go see somebody and say, hey, let's sit down together and watch this video. You got any questions, you can ask me when it's done. You know, I bought you some coffee. Enjoy. Right? I mean, whatever. I happen to be in the neighborhood. Whatever. Okay. So let's ask some real questions as we wrap this up. And again, this is not designed to go in opposition to anything any of your coaches teaching you. If you're working with a coach or a mentor and the stuff that you're teaching, you love it and it's working, please ignore what I'm saying and just do that. Continue to do what works. Okay. We don't, like me and Coach Marcus always say, none of us want to step on anybody's toes. But if you need to figure some stuff out, watch this call once if you're curious, twice if you're serious, and internalize these concepts. It'll go way better for you. And in 18 months, you'll be one of the $100,000 earners by building it out just the way we taught you. Okay. Now, let me ask you in the chat, how many people here have experienced any kind of health improvement from our products? Any at all? Any at all? Put a 1 in the chat. If you, you say me or put a 1. Yeah, you don't have to say what they are. We know we got a whole call dedicated to that. Okay, so most people on here have experienced some health improvement. Yeah, basically everybody does, right? How many people here have experienced even a slight reduction in stress or anxiety as a part of being around our supportive community? Okay, how many people have experienced just a little less stress? You just got a little better crew. You just 1% more optimistic about life, just as a result of having a support community here. Regardless of your rank, if you make money or don't make money, or sell a lot of product or don't, or you made $500, you made no money, doesn't matter. Okay, it's important for you to feel just a little bit better about life being here with us. How many people here have met a friend, have met a new friend as a result of our community that you really like, a really great friend? Okay, I got to hang out at Ed Spears' house. Could have been last month or month before. It was awesome. I didn't even know he was right. I didn't even know, right down the road. Didn't even know. Okay, me and Coach Marcus hang out. We don't even have to have the event in Vegas. We'll just hang out. I'm in Dallas. Me and Steve are gonna hang out. We ain't got to have nothing planned. We're gonna figure it out. It's just you meet a friend. Okay, so people on here have met a friend. That is, can't put a price tag on that. Can't put a price tag on that. I'm telling you, you can't do it. You can't do it. Okay. I look, I'm long overdue for Canada, but I'll probably be there this summer, Francine. I told people if they want to do meetings, I'm coming to do them. I'm getting my own ticket and I'm coming to do them. All right. So let me ask this: how many people? This was a fun one for me. I'm a public school graduate, so this one meant a lot to me on the inside. How many people feel at least just a little bit smarter, just a little bit wiser from the books or the videos or the personal development or the calls that you get for free with our community? How many people feel just a little bit smarter? I have learned so much about health and cell division and mRNA and DNA and RNA. I like hanging out with y'all. I love our calls. I love our recordings. I love our trainings. I've learned so much about thymoquinone and anti-aging, and it is baffling. Okay, so people feel smarter here. People feel healthier here. People feel better here. People make friends here. Listen, this is a big part. Notice I didn't even mention money. Didn't even mention it. Do you know that people will join you at 100 BV a month just to experience that? Just to experience better health? Just to have a slight reduction in stress and anxiety? Just to have support, somebody to call and talk to who actually cares about you? just to get a little bit smarter every single week. It just gets smarter and smarter. You do know that people will join you and stay locked in with you forever for those 4 non-money benefits. Put in the chat if you understand that. It's not all about the money. The money is a byproduct of the impact. Okay? You can impact 1,000 people a little bit, or you can impact 2 people a whole lot, and then you help them do the same thing. Let me ask this. Okay, let me ask this. How many people here have ever made any money at all with HBN or GoToSign? Any, $1. How many people ever got a direct deposit check? How many people made $1? I wish the people on the recording could see this chat. That is basically everybody. Even the new people, like, I got some bread. Okay? So the money is, the company pays us up. Let me ask this. This is fun. Let me ask this. How many people either sold a product or recruited a rep in their first 90 days? Let me just see. How many? And put 90. Put 90 in the chat. If you recruited a rep or sponsored a product in your first, or sold a product, put 90 in the chat. This is, I think we're going to get a funny answer here. All right. So a lot of people, tons of people, 90 days. Now, here's my question. Did you sponsor more people in your first 90 days with the company, or this most recent 90 days with the company? Did you sponsor more people your first 90 days or your most recent 90? For me, it was my first 90 days. I had to think about that. Yet for most people here, it's their first 90 days. Okay? It's their first 90 days, not the most recent 90 days. Now, here's the part where I'm going to prove to you exactly what I said. Miriam says kind of even. Yeah, no, you're going to have 1 or 2 people who sponsored more people recently. But that first 90 days, we was all on fire. Now, watch this. I'm going to prove to you everything I said in this class. Did you know more information back then or now? It's almost as if the more you know, the less you do. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not wrong. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Because the more you learn and the more you do, the more complicated you want to make stuff. That's human nature. Look, I'm just as guilty as you. I sponsored more people my first 90 days than I did not my last 90 days. 100%. 100%. I had to really think about that. And I feel like I know pretty dang everything I need to know, almost. Okay? So my point is, based on that, do you now see that you don't have to be an expert and have all this information to sponsor just 2 people and to help them do the same thing? Please put in the chat if that makes sense. Hopefully that'll get some of y'all moving. Because the products works, the checks cash, the system works, the pay pan plays. The less you know, the more you sponsor. Crazy. Like we learn everything, but forget how to sponsor people. It's crazy. The system we use is native. Okay, it's native. You make friends naturally. You don't have to try to do that. You meet their friends naturally. You don't have to try to do that. You start conversations naturally when you go places you normally go. You continue conversations naturally. You don't have to really have a skill set to do that. None of you would have ever been married or have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a child if you didn't know how to do all of this stuff before you ever got in networking. Okay? People complain from time to time when you have conversations with them, and you have a business that helps them address those complaints. Money, health, relationships, confidence, all of that. You got that. It's the weirdest thing. It's like you got a car, you got friends you've been talking to for years, and y'all are at the store, and the friend goes, yeah, man, all right, I gotta run. I gotta walk home. My car's broke down. And you're like, oh, I got a car. You want to ride? I can drop you off, and they give you gas money. You're not sure. That is network marketing 101, but it's like we forget how to do it the longer we've been here. Okay, so the system it's you. The system, why it seems so easy to think about, is because it's you. It's always been you. All right. It's you make friends naturally. You meet their friends. You don't need a lot of friends. You might meet them at church. You might meet them at the mall. It doesn't matter. Okay, how did you get all of those cell phone contacts and phone numbers in your phone? You met people naturally, you made friends at work and school, and you nurture those relationships. You start conversations naturally, you continue conversations naturally, you keep up with people naturally. People complain from time to time, and you got a solution. You just do. You got a great solution. Okay. That, Will, I really want to join, but I don't have the money. Of course, you don't have the money. That's why you're talking to me right now. Let's go ahead and get you started with a free account. Let us teach you our proven hot market system, and let's put some money in your pocket, and then you can upgrade once you get some money in your pocket. They ain't gotta have money to be my friend. Like, it's weird, but I don't recommend doing that one unless they don't have the income. If they really don't have money, okay, man, I really want to join, but I don't have the money. Of course, you don't have any money. That's why you're talking to me. So if you don't have any money, let's go ahead and get started with a free account. Okay. Let's go ahead and work the hot market system. We'll get some orders into your hot market. I'll teach you exactly how to do it. I'm certified. I went to a boot camp in Orlando and I got certified to do this. So I'm going to help you. Okay. Help you get some orders. That's going to put some money in your pocket today. Then you can buy a product and probably have a little left over. How's that sound? You will never hear a friend say, I don't have the money to join your company if you know what to say. And if you understand the hot market like we teach it, they can make money that day. You're not wrong. Okay. So as we close the call, this is why a lot of people aren't at 100K, honestly. Let's be honest about what's stopping people. I can't remember the last time I sponsored a person for free because with a free account, because now people just know if you're going to work with me, it's a certain amount of training, coaching, and quality you're getting. They have no problem spending 100 CV, but wasn't always like that. Wasn't always like that. Okay. Sometimes people don't believe that the product works or the system works, and don't believe in the industry. If they don't really believe it works, they may be here, but they're going to have a lot of difficulty working the system. Sometimes, if here's a good part, a good point, if people have never seen someone who looks like them win at this company, they can secretly doubt it subconsciously and not take the right type of action. Okay, we have a lot of different demographics represented here with our company, both genders, but you'll see certain demographics and genders that are underrepresented. Okay, you'll see certain whole countries that are underrepresented. Sometimes it's a subconscious belief because you don't see enough people from your country or your state or your gender or your ethnicity winning, and subconsciously you're like, that's odd. Maybe it's supposed to be you. Maybe you're supposed to be the person who sets the bar so that other people who relate more to you are supposed to come in and have a great time. Sometimes people aren't successful, and it's like, so that's all filed in the category of people have subconscious beliefs. We know the system works, but if you have a subconscious hang-up, you won't work the system. You'll do everything but try to sponsor two people. You'll do every Russell Brunson ClickFunnels ever created. You'll build 19 websites and 15 books and 20,000 different gift cards, drop card, postcard, credit card. You'll do everything but go sponsor two people and teach them if you have a subconscious issue, because your subconscious will keep you from making that money, which is very simple to make. Okay. Yeah. The second one, a lot of busy work. Yeah. They get distracted by complexity. All of that stuff, the AI tools, all of that stuff is cool. It works. It's cool. That you don't need that to sponsor two people. Let's do that. Let's sponsor the right two people and plug them in and start teaching them. And you can go do all that other stuff after you're done with that. Fear of rejection. Thank you, Ed. Talk to people, right? Fear of rejection. Sometimes they're not avoiding the system, they're avoiding discomfort. They've had a bad experience in life or several bad experiences, or they've had a bad experience in network marketing or talking to people or sales, and they're avoiding discomfort, even though the system works, even though they know the people they're talking to they definitely need our products and probably could use the extra income. They're avoiding their own personal discomfort. That's a very selfish way to live. Sometimes you gotta get rid of the fear you feel to go help some people. Sometimes a parent is gonna have to run into that house that's on fire to save their kids. You gotta have that same type of attitude to helping people. Sometimes people compare instead of compete. Sometimes they do both, and that's bad. Watching other people sometimes will make them feel behind, so they'll stop building. Okay, so you got to really focus on caring and not comparing or competing. The only person you're in competition with is you. That is a fact. Okay, and the leaderboard can make it hard for people. to really understand that you're just competing against you. You can't worry about what other people doing in chapter 15 of their network marketing book, chapter 18, and you're in chapter 2 of your network marketing book. It does take some time, but watching other people win might make you feel behind. So don't do that. Don't let that stop you. Grow out of that. Okay. Sometimes people they really want to be great, but they lack a daily mode of operation. They real hit or miss with their activity. They do talk to people, but they don't for a week or two or three. And no schedule, no consistency, no growth. All right. Some people they're talented, but they have no accountability. Sometimes people just need a good coach or a system. They need to track activity. If they don't, they'll just fade. Life will get in the way. Okay, you got to watch that. Sometimes people don't win and work the system and win because their sponsor didn't plug them into the system and they didn't have a quick win. A quick win is very helpful. A quick sale or a quick sign up is so helpful for your new rep. You need those early signups or early product testimonials. Without that, you'll lose belief. But if you work hot market, use your products, you're going to get some quick profit and you're going to get some signups, some customers, obviously. But also you're going to be using your products that you bought at that time. So it'll be very helpful. Another reason why and one of these reasons might resonate with you. We got a few more, but one of them might resonate with you. And that might be something you can work on that'll help you unlock whatever's preventing you from working the most simple system in the history of network marketing. It's literally 2 people, okay? Some people have not decided to lead. They just don't. They're still thinking like a customer, not a CEO. I've enjoyed watching Francine's kind of evolution as a network marketing builder, going from kind of timid customer mindset to I'm very proud. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna tell people what I think, and I'm gonna be one of the best builders Canada's ever seen. To watch that evolution has been fun. I could just say it's been fun. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I feel that way about a lot of people. Just to watch their evolution and grow into a leader. It's been fun to watch. I remember Ed's growth as a leader, been fun to watch. Okay. A lot of people, Tiara Moore, it's been fun to just watch the growth. Okay. Some people don't win, they don't get the business to the next level with the system because they're lazy. All right. That's rare. People really typically aren't lazy. They'll work hard at their job, but they don't always want to work hard in their business. That's a mindset thing. Okay. Some people just are not intelligent. They don't have intellectually what it takes to process this information in the time frame necessary to make magic happen. That's going to be less than 1% of people, though. Most people are more than smart enough to do this. So that's not really it. We'll close the call with the last reason. The last reason, the one I think is most common when I watch people at companies, our company and other companies as well, the last reason is the most common. When I don't see people succeed with a simple, proven system that can be done in addition to everything else they're already doing, people are arrogant. They're arrogant. It is a sense of false pride that they have to say, well, yeah, you made millions of dollars and I want to make millions of dollars, but I'm not going to do it the way you did it. I'm going to figure out another way to do it. Then they get mad when it takes forever. They get frustrated and they get burnt out. I try to tell you. Try to tell you how to do it. And then when you've helped other people make hundreds of thousands, and this year it'll be millions of dollars, you gotta kind of be humble. And one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in network marketing was not being humble. When I first got to HBN and Coach Marcus was trying to give me the game because he had been here longer than me. He had earned more than me. He earned more than me in his network marketing career. I was not humble. I was arrogant. And it cost me, this is no exaggeration, it cost me millions to this day. Because your position is your position. And once you lock somebody in and put them out the placement tank, that's where they are. That's where they are. And Paul ain't doing no favors, taking people out once. She ain't doing all that. So I've lost millions because I was humble, wasn't humble enough. I was still arrogant. Coming from my last company, I was still arrogant. So if you think it can affect me, you better believe it can affect you. Okay? You better believe it can affect you. All right? So remember, simple steps done by many, that equals magic. Simple steps done by many equal magic. All right. So with customers, they're great. But recruits, they'll duplicate. All right. And what we'll do, we'll help you with some retail to recruit systems and some other fun stuff we'll cover on Sunday's call. But I want to thank everybody on here. Let's see. Got any questions? Thank y'all. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Coach Marcus. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's see. Don't care about the money, man. You tripping. I don't know what Clarence. Boy, Clarence is yellow to a fault. All right, Clarence, you don't want that money. You could just transfer it to me in the back office, brother. Don't worry about it. I'll find a good home for it, brother. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. Yeah, I don't recommend leaving your money in your account because you can't invest it. Even if you don't need the money and you're not going to, just a little pro tip, even if you don't need the money, you're not going to spend it, you're comfortable, don't leave that money in the HBN account. Take that out, put that in the Vanguard. You can put it in the high yield savings account. You can put that in the Vanguard. I think VTSAX is one of the ones I like. You can definitely do an ETF. They have a little more fees than a mutual fund, but you can get an ETF with very little money. Mutual fund will take a couple $1,000s. You can buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Okay, that's what I do. I buy $5 or $10 of Bitcoin a month just cause. And it has not been a bad bet. And I was not a fan of Bitcoin at the beginning, and I should have been, but I wasn't. So my point is, yeah, don't leave your money in there. That money is going to stay in the GoDasana Green Organics big old Pay Quicker bank account. All right, you need to take that money out. You need to go ahead and invest that so at least that money can make some money for you. Don't leave it in Paula's pocket. She ain't gonna do nothing with it. All right, man. Thank y'all so much for the call. Yeah, make your money work for it. We need to do another class on that, Marcus. We like teaching that. That stuff is fun. All right, y'all have a good night. God bless. We don't have any questions in the chat. And we will see y'all on the next one. Thank y'all so much.